Let's do it.
Would you like a minute?
No, you're fine.
Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's August 16th. I'm Ryan Miller. Hello, Dolly. It's Matt Amberg.
I'm a Dobby.
Or would you prefer nurse?
Ooh.
I can also hello, nurse.
Hello, next.
It's pretty good. You see that clip that Jean Ralphio posted of wait, you must have. I probably retweeted your tweet or something.
From the new DuckTales. Woo!
No, the guy doing all the Animaniacs voice, the original dude, Pinky the Brain dude.
Oh yeah. I may have. Yes, you must have retweeted my thing. That's true. That's what I'm gonna go with.
That's what I do.
My gosh, the Pokey Little Puppy's First Christmas, starring Ryan Miller.
Man, so sometimes I eat right before the show, and that's a bad idea.
Always the
like
worst.
Usually,
Yeah.
But I can kind of muscle through it because that's how I've come to live my life. Like I'm just always prepared from having eaten a whole bunch.
Sure.
Just at any point.
Yeah.
This week, I don't even want to. Have you seen the Vice video about all the stupid? Man, we should not ever get political.
We should.
But all the garbage that happened over the weekend. Have you seen that Vice video?
Oh yeah. Lots of dumb idiot morons in Charlottesville.
Right. Did you see the Vice thing? I don't know when it came out.
You went from eating to I don't know where you're at now. You went from eating to Charlottesville. So I'm like,
yeah.
are we? Is this a barbecue thing?
I feel sick. So it's kind of I don't know. My point being, don't watch. I only got halfway through it. It's really good coverage about that thing. Like the Vice was in with them doing interviews with them.
Yeah, when the girl got hit by the car and everything. Is that what you're talking about?
No. I mean that's where I stopped at the video. But yes, sorry. The Vice girl did not get hit.
Yeah. Heather.
Yes.
I can't remember her last name.
Man.
Heather Hare.
Yeah, so don't eat before a show. Probably don't watch the saddest thing in your country right now before a show either.
Oh, it's not the saddest thing. Come on. I mean, look, people are really super angry about an ironic statue of Lenin in Seattle. They're losing their minds over that one.
Oh man, Bill Corbett, Riff Tracks, Mystery Science Theater fame.
Yeah.
Also tweeted a picture. It's a famous statue of Lucille Ball that looks really bad.
Yeah.
He tweeted that and he's like, this needs to be taken down or something like that. And he got all sorts of serious responses like about erasing history and stuff like this. And
even Lucille Ball would want history erased on that one. It doesn't do her justice. But we're not political around here because
maybe let's
because
not.
You know what we believe in? Nothing, Lebowski. We believe in nothing. We are nihilists.
Did you watch that this week?
I did. It's on my list actually of things that I have. I have like 4 movies that are like kind of packaged together that Beth and I've been wanting to watch, and that's kind of one of them right in the middle. But no, I did not watch that movie.
What are the other 3? Let's talk about movies we haven't watched this week.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Are they all Coens or?
They are all Coen brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. It was actually it's a weird jump. It's Miller's Crossing,
nice.
Big Lebowski. What the hell is it called? The one with Josh Brolin that just came out about Hollywood.
Goonies.
That's it. Goonies by the Coen brothers.
Oh, Hail Caesar?
Hail Caesar.
I still have that one,
that's
too.
That's the other one. And Burn After Reading.
Oh, also. I mean, it's the dumbest conversation. Every time you say a Coen Brothers movie, I say, oh, yeah, that's a good one, too. They're all good.
They're all pretty good.
Yeah. It's a dumb thing.
It's fine.
That sounds like a movie podcast. I mean, there's going to be a Coen one, right? We just do that.
There can't not be.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I did watch. We went and went to the cinema this weekend. And saw the. We were gonna go see.
Did you bring your tea, fancy boy?
Yes, I did. Absolutely. I also made sure to bring my monocle so I could see the performers. I loved
That
monocles
seems
too.
plausible. Yeah, no, showing up to the movies, like people looking at you be like, I'm going to the movies this week.
I'm going to the cinema to watch a film.
Waving your $10 in the air.
Take
What
my
are
money.
you having tonight?
Give me your buttered popcorns. I delight in them.
$30? Never mind.
Not sold. Refund. We went and saw Annabelle Creation, which is a prequel to. So there's this set of movies that James Wan, who did Saw and Fast and Furious now, and he's doing just everything. What isn't he doing? James Wan's the only director in Hollywood now.
Which one?
James. And he made these films called The Conjuring, and the first film starred Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as this it's their pseudo quote unquote based on a real couple that did a whole bunch of paranormal research and helped people get over their ghosts and they were ghost hunters basically. And in this the first movie, they're brought into a house that's being haunted, and the people don't know why, and you get kind of a hint at there's a like a room that they have where all of these items are that they have collected over years that are haunted or have something wrong. Very much so like that downstairs part in Cabin in the Woods, where they're like there's just a bunch of trinkets and they're all something, but you don't know what they are. So they kind of pan through this, and you see it a few times where you're constantly assuming, they film it in such a way that something in here is going to jump at you. And they keep showing this doll. And then the second they show the doll, and the doll's name is Anabelle, and the Anabelle is it was a cool movie. I mean, the movie it's a solid prequel. The original movies, like The Conjuring, takes place, I want to say, in like the mid 70s. So they're not modern day, and this takes place like in the 40s, 30s, something like that.
Wait.
Maybe in the 50s even.
Okay, The Conjuring. This is a prequel to The Conjuring?
Kind of. Yeah, it's a prequel to a one of the items in The Conjuring. Like Annabelle doesn't come up in The Conjuring. She's just there in the background.
Is The Conjuring a recent?
Yeah, like
that
4 years ago, and then the sequel came out like 2 years ago. So the Conjuring movies take place sometime like the 70s, and this takes place like in the 40s. And it, kind of novel. It's got Anthony LaPaglia in it. You never see Anthony LaPaglia in anything anymore. He's great.
Yeah. What?
He has a whole 5 lines in the movie.
No, he did TV for forever.
Yeah. Okay. So we
didn't see him. Yeah.
So
no,
I married
right.
an axe murderer into CSI Calabasas. Whatever.
No, that was other LaPaglia. Like, there's LaPaglia from that time period, and then there's the completely different looking separate human being of I don't know when it happened.
You had the So I Married an Axe Murderer, Anthony LaPaglia, and then there was a moment in time when Kuatu kind of took over, and that's what we have now. We have Kuatu. Yeah, so he's in the movie. He's kind of he's the father, and the movie is actually mostly it's a ghost story. It's a haunted house story about the family loses their daughter at a very the movie takes place. I don't think give you a year. It's just kind of like it takes place in the middle of like nowhere, kind of a deserty, crappy area. Very run down, very Depression era. It felt very 40s. And,
that's 2003 Arizona, actually.
Yeah, very well could be. So at the very beginning of the movie, they're happy out and go and family, and oh no, the car breaks down, and this is the part of the movie where I'm like, okay, I don't track on this one. Middle of nowhere, they are the one car on the side of the road. Another truck is coming. They hear it. They see it. Little girl runs out in front of it, gets hit. She wanted to have a grill, and thus she was given one.
Well, okay.
So
devil's advocate, like that kind of, I feel like you would do that in a story if you wanted it to seem inevitable or destined or something.
It's not, but It's like they play.
Is that the ghost of the movie?
The truck? Yeah, it's Duel. This is just a sequel. It's basically just Duel, but in the 40s. No. So the girl is killed, and then you flash forward to 12 years later, and an orphanage has been just shut down. There's no money, and that family happens to have a big house. So they said, you know what? We will take you in. We would like to have people in the house. It's just the wife has ever since been laid up in bed. She can't walk. She can't move. The kids see her and they mention that she kind of looks like a doll, and that you find out like early on, and this is, I did forget to mention this, I guess, pertinent to the whole story. Anthony LaPaglia is a doll maker. He builds dolls. So he has like an entire shed made of, and then he doesn't, after the daughter is killed, he no longer is making dolls.
He loses the luster, the love for his creepy craft.
He seems to, well, I mean, I guess my assumption is that he quit because you never see him doing anything with it ever again. You see it at the beginning, you see him finish the Anabelle doll, and then that's it. Like, you just never anything else about it.
I bet his wife was like, "Oh, thank goodness."
Yeah, she is like, I
lost
so
my daughter, but
freaked out.
Stop making the dolls,
yeah,
guys.
They're just weird, like the weird eyeball things, and you're plucking the hairs, just bizarre.
He's just got like 30 eyeballs on his nightstand. I'm working on them. Just give me.
I have my father's eyes. Put those away. Topper, put those away. So the kids move in with a nun, and weird things start happening, and one little girl who has a brace on her leg. She can't walk or run. She can walk, but she can't run with all the other girls and everything. She is the one that's kind of picked by the demon or whatever it is, the ghost, and Anabelle is kind of the avatar and pops up in places, and then it becomes what's actually happening? Is it Anabelle? Is it the mother? Is the dad behind it in some way? And it's good.
It's pretty good though.
It was good. Yeah, we liked it. It was it moved along at a really nice pace. Beth was she loves a good ghost story, so she was into it. We were both surprised by the fact that the movie not a lot of gore, like no gore, really, actually none. But it's mostly focused on the children. Like, it's a lot of the kids being scared, the kids running around, and it's not a ton of the, there's only 3 adults in the movie at any given time, really. So it was good. It was cool. It was a solid follow-up, and
I'm into it.
I want to go. I actually might rewatch The Conjuring and Conjuring 2 this week just to.
Oh, there's a Conjuring 2.
There is. Yes, there's so many Conjurings. Everybody's conjuring stuff. It's happening.
So kind of a decent little trilogy though, like all fine movies. Sounds
like the first movie, The Conjuring, like when we saw it in the theater, I was a little down on it because it just kind of, there was something, I don't know. So it just kind of felt like, man, they could have done more with it. And then I went back and I rewatched it, and it was a much better movie the second time. I don't know why. I might have been just pissed off at the first. I don't know. But yeah, they're good flicks. They're cool. Cool. And then I watched another flick this week. We watched a movie called Citizen X. It was a movie that came out in the early 90s, like 94, maybe 95.
With
mid-90s.
Edward Norton.
No, that's American History X. Close.
Oh.
No, Citizen X was a made for HBO movie. It has a Donald Sutherland's in it, Joss Ackland, and
I like it. It's a good movie.
And Stephen Ray. Yeah, and it's a based on a true story about a Stephen Ray plays this forensic guy in Soviet Russia in the mid to late 80s. I think it starts in like 84, 85 is when the time period starts. Okay. And he's brought by a detective. He's brought a body. Tells the detective, go back out and find more stuff because I've got a body here. I can't identify this. Soviet Russia. They didn't have the ability to fingerprint or whatever. I don't know.
Sure.
But he couldn't identify the body, so they go back and then they find 5 more. Then they find 5 more after that. Stephen Ray's forensic doctor is brought into he's brought into a meeting with Donald Sutherland's character, who's like a major or something in the army, and Joss Ackland's character who is like, he is the connection directly to Moscow for where this little part of Russia that they're in.
Ambassador.
They're not ambassadors. It's like it's a committee. It's a committee, and the committee is basically to listen to Stephen Ray say, we have a serial killer. To which the committee says, serial killers don't exist in Russia. That is it's a decadence of Western civilization. We don't have that in Russia. Donald Sutherland then says, well, fine. You know what? We're going to go ahead and just, you're a detective now. That's what you wanted to be in the first place. You never wanted to be a forensic anthropologist or a medical examiner. You wanted to be a detective. So now you are one. The rest of the film goes year over year as he is constantly chasing this serial killer. And this person's killing people. He's brutally murdering them. He's stabbing them in the face 50 times and stabbing them in the stomach and carving off their genitals and different parts. And kids,
as one does,
not just adults. So we're talking at the end of the whole thing. I think the body count was something like 54 people, and over half of them were under the age of 17. So the whole movie is based on this actual killer, one of the most prolific in Russian history that was not a dictator of any type. And
that's why serial killers don't exist.
Exactly.
They're elected. They're not elected, actually. They
take the power.
Leaders. There you go.
Look, if you've got an
Politics.
egg and it's a really nice egg, all I'm saying is watch out for assassinations. Just be careful with it. It's fine.
Ocean's 13.
Russian history is real fun. Good movie though, like super solid flick.
Cool.
It was very engaging, and I didn't remember. I knew I had seen it. I remembered the movie very well.
Is this a Netflix or?
No, it was an HBO movie for like it was made for HBO like in 1994 or whatever.
But where'd you? You found it on?
I watched it on HBO.
Go, yeah, okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Hey, movies, good transition. Have you ever seen the movie Moonwalker?
With Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. I love the twins on the motorcycle, and Joe Pesci is in it, and there's all sorts of weird like stop motion.
It's not so much a movie as it is like kind of a perfect Michael Jackson fever dream.
It was, hey, we want to make a video game. Make a movie so we can make a video game.
Like there's straight up, it's an anthology, I guess. They're just weird. It's weird.
They're weird little
they
clips,
go from like,
right? That like have kind of like the one overarching thing of the Joe Pesci guy.
Well, that's the longest clip in there, but he doesn't even show up until like that's still all a confined chunk. Like I think that's really the thing people think of most often when they think of Moonwalker is that chunk where I want to say it starts like halfway in. So it might be an hour long, that whole thing, and it caps off the movie. So it's kind of why you're there. But before that, there's the weird claymation stuff. They throw in the video for Leave Me Alone, which is where that came from.
Yep.
Which is, I think is funny because people see that and it's the whole, like, you know, there's a bunch of stuff from his actual life in there, and you know, basically Leave Me Alone, all the tabloids and stuff like that. People look at that and they're like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like that's representative of Michael Jackson. I think the actual Moonwalker, like that part where Joe Pesci comes in, is probably more representative because it's
I don't remember it.
Well, so it's got the Smooth Criminal video in there, like smack dab in the middle.
That I remember. And I remember
the rest of it is him say it. You're gonna say it.
Like Joe Pesci is some kind of a dictator or something, and then he turns into like a robot.
Sure, there it is. Yeah,
Michael Jackson turns into a robot.
Mm-hmm. He's a shape-shifting alien that turns into a car, drives away.
Good.
And then he turns into a spaceship, but for like 20 minutes. It's like a 20-minute transformation where it just keeps cutting back and forth. The look is cool. Like the look I love most of all. It's like so, like it's Captain EO, like 80s. Like it looks like that. Like you ever see like the car catalogs from the 60s, you know?
Yeah.
It's this weird hybrid between illustration and real video.
Yeah.
That's what that special effects look like in this thing. And it's cool. Like, but it takes 20 minutes for him to transform. Like it cuts to the kids and they're like, oh, and then like another body part does something for a while and it cuts back to the kids. Yeah. And they're like, oh, and then it just
It's good. I like it.
Man, it's a weird one. I mean, I could see why people would say it's bad. It's not the worst thing I've seen. like The Mummy. I also watched.
Oh man, the disappointment is so grand on so many levels with that flick, and that whole idea. I am. Yeah.
It never looked good. Like, I mean,
No.
this is how this thing went. Like me and my wife turned it on, I think Tuesday after we recorded, or no, we recorded on Monday, and we were on Tuesday. So it might have been Wednesday. I don't know. Watched like.
Wait, stop for a second. Let's break this down.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Monday we recorded. Okay. Tuesday. Now where
You
were
writing
you?
this down?
Okay.
Got to keep this track of it. And shoot, it might have been Monday. I don't know. Hold on, I'll be right back. Watched like an hour, like watched up to the third act probably. So like stuff's like quote unquote ramping up, and then we're like, oh, it's time to go to bed, and then forgot we had started it until like 6 days later. Like we're also watching. Do you ever watch Catfish TV show?
Not the TV show. I saw the movie.
Movie's good. I will defend 90% of that TV show. It is good TV.
I will not follow you on this one, my friend.
I'm not joking. It's yeah.
You're catfishing me right now.
We're into that.
Catfish.
So yeah, we're like 6 days later after like 10 Catfish episodes, we're like, weren't we watching The Mummy? We're like, oh yeah, I guess we should finish that. So we did, and they're attempting to set up their dark universe, Universal, right, which is their reboot of like The Mummy and the
yeah, it's all the castle or not the castle,
Invisible Man,
the Universal monsters,
Jekyll and Hyde, yes,
the creature, the Wolfman.
So I knew that was kind of part of it. The movie itself is sacrificed as a standalone film for all this universe setup. Honestly.
So, okay, I want you to continue, but I want you to no. Well, hold on for a second. So
that makes 1.5 of us.
I want 1.5 reasons to give you about why The Mummy can never be that movie that they want it to be.
Okay,
and it's easily I'm going to give it to you.
Oh, you're going to give it? Yeah, give it to me.
The Mummy is not even back when The Mummy was the hardest sell, I think, out of all of the Universal monsters. The least interesting in the overall, like getting the way they did it with the Brendan Fraser thing, they give a little more backs to Emotep and stuff, and you get more with it. All right, here maybe the same thing, but you like Dracula has kind of an established identity behind him. And the creature even kind of has the establishment of like, okay, he can swim underwater, he can live there, he's a monster under the water. The wolf man, it's terrifying. Your skin is getting torn, your clothes are you're becoming a werewolf. Then you have the Mummy, who has no powers until, again, the Mummy movie, like later on, but like those Karloff, like they weren't creating sandstorms and stuff. Like, I understand.
Was Karloff the Mummy too?
Yeah. I understand that. He
was Frankenstein also, wasn't he?
He was everything except for the Invisible Man and Dracula.
Or was he?
He was not. Claude Rains was the Invisible Man.
Oh, okay.
And Chevy Chase. Mostly Chevy Chase. But the Mummy, I think, was always the hardest sell. And I think, personally, like, and I've seen all of the Mummy movies that I think have come out. I love the Universal monsters. I just love the whole idea of them. Sure. The two instances where the Mummy works best are in the Monster Squad and the Brendan Fraser Mummy, because the Brendan Fraser Mummy almost apes that B movie thing. I mean, it's totally going for that. And I just felt like everything about this Tom Cruise movie was they're taking it way too seriously.
Absolutely. No, you're right. Like it all the previews looked bad and never looked interesting, and that totally bore out. Like yes, you won't be surprised by anything. I think you're one step ahead of me in that you're referencing the original Mummy and not the Brendan Fraser movies more often than not. Like, this isn't a reboot of the Brendan Fraser movies. Like, there's a cool little Easter egg where they use the Book of Life to punch Jekyll in the face or something like that. So it's there's a nod to the Brendan Fraser movies, but I think it is more of a reboot of the original stuff. And I actually don't necessarily agree. Like, I think the Mummy has plenty of premise there, like the whole Egyptian thing and all that. I think it's fine. Like, I don't have the knowledge that you do, so that was just pure taste. But
yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say that the interest isn't there. There's plenty of interesting things around the Mummy. The Mummy is just not, and never has been to me, a scary one of those characters. Like,
I agree with that for sure.
And that's
at no point. Yeah.
That's kind of why I think if I have to, if you're gonna pin me down and say what's the best Mummy movie, I would say The Monster Squad. Because they didn't take him, they brought the character without digging into the background. They didn't dig into the background of really any of them, which was one of the best parts. And they made him a lumbering kind of scary thing while keeping a sense of humor about it, because the kids didn't know. Why would kids be scared of the Mummy? They really weren't. The rest of them, they are scared of them. The Mummy, they're like, holy crap, why are you here? You know?
You look soft. You look kind of comfortable, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to sit on you. You're a couch.
Yeah, no, it's a boring movie. Like every Tom Cruise movie, it seems like to me, is like I watch it and I can see the contract. I can't say that about much other movies, but I see a Cruise movie and I'm like, it's like there's little writers written on the screen or something like that. You know, like. Especially in this movie, and I'll spoil it. I honestly don't care. You're not, and it's not going to ruin. If you're going to enjoy this thing, you're going to enjoy it anyways. But
in spite of the ending.
Yeah, well, the new Mummy is the girl, and her idea. She does a fantastic job. She does this thing where she's trying to kill her lover to bring back Set, the god of the underworld or darkness, or however it is, like her boss, who's then going to reign with her.
Yeah, Captain.
So that's where she gets all her power. What?
Captain Snakeman. Set, usually a snake. Really symbolized by.
Well, Tom Cruise becomes the vessel, and so there's this thing where he goes back and forth with, you know, like if you see the preview, it shows him like going down an airplane, then waking up in a morgue unscratched. Like, so he's going through this transformation, but it's not complete until he himself completes it, which means I guess he then becomes Set. But then there's like this still struggle within himself. Basically what I'm saying when I say is I see the contract is Cruise is still the star. Like the Mummy dies, he's the main thing of that movie, like not the actual Mummy. Which sets it all up because he's going to be in all of them. Like the whole Jekyll Hyde thing with Russell Crowe, who I tried to remember a movie that I liked Russell Crowe from.
Dude, if you haven't seen The Nice Guys, man, that's...
Oh, okay. I haven't. You're right. Most of his serious stuff, I couldn't tell you. Like there was a thriller a while ago with, and I think I talked about on the show, Elizabeth Banks, where he like rescues her from prison.
Yeah. You mentioned that.
I thought that was pretty good, but I can't think of much else. Like he doesn't fix any of that in this. The organization he's a part of, like he's heading up. He's Nick Fury, right? Let's liken this to the Marvel universe a little bit, because that's obviously what we're doing here. Like. He's got this organization that's like very much trying to curtail darkness, but it kind of embraces it at the same time. Like because he's a good guy, but he's got a bad side to him. He's Jekyll and Hyde.
It's the BPRD. That's what it is.
It better be. What is?
The BPRD. That's where Hellboy came from.
Oh,
the Bureau of Paranormal and.
Yeah. We can do a whole podcast on that later.
Yeah. Research.
It's just not. It's what they set up is at the expense of this movie standing on its own 2 feet, and it's not terribly interesting, anyways. So I'm not saying any of the other things they try and do can't be interesting, but like at one point during the movie, I was like, why didn't you just copy Iron Man? Like if that was the thing that started to set up all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah,
honestly, bring Jon Favreau in. Just let him be there.
Yeah, well, I mean. That would have been too easy, I guess, but
anyways. I love the monster movies, but the way they started that out with Tom Cruise, then casting freaking like I can't stand Johnny Depp anymore. I mean, it's been a long time, but I just don't want him as the Invisible Man. I'm fine with Crow doing Jekyll and Hyde. You know, whoever's going to play the creature, that's really is going to come down to you don't put a guy in a green suit, and if you make him CGI, I'm not ever seeing that movie. Period. Number one, if it's not a dude in a suit, I'm out. That's guaranteed.
I like the idea of them rebooting and giving some direction to that universe, but this isn't like this. It's not a good start, man. If you consider this the start, Like they've actually been trying to do this for like maybe 2 to 3 movies already.
Well, yeah, because
they always flop, and they're like, no, that wasn't it.
Benicio del Toro's Wolfman,
Exactly,
Dracula 2, Dracula AD, I think was the other one. Yeah, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
There have been Frankenstein.
The Hunt for Red October. Yeah, I Frankenstein, Frankenstein Reborn, Frankenstein's Army, which is actually a good one.
Too much on this. I did watch a good movie I want to mention.
Okay.
For significantly less time than we'd spend talking about bad movies now.
Good.
But I watched Life, the Ryan Reynolds space thriller.
Oh, man. That's, all right. Okay, go.
Did you?
Go.
No, tell me your feelings.
I've only seen half of it.
Really?
Things happened, okay? Look, an incident.
So you didn't stop because you weren't liking it?
Yeah. No, it was things happened. I mean, I got to a pretty decent turning point, and it was like right after that, like that, where I was like, "Oh, cool. Okay, what's going to happen here?" And now I don't know. And
was it after somebody died?
It sure was.
I won't say who, but obviously people drop like flies kind of throughout
because it's called
telling
life
of this story. It is, and that's what gets lost. The idea itself isn't that new. Like I don't think you're spoiling anything to say it takes place in space. They discover some new life on Mars, and then it's as that thing grows, and it's a thriller. And I'm sure if you've seen any of the previews, like people die, whatever.
Yeah,
it's not new, but I think it's executed super well. Actually,
it was good
from
so
the
far,
beginning with all the like everything's fine, ness of it. To stuff ramping up. There's a part where maybe the pacing slows a little bit towards the end, like the third act, I think gets in a strange spot. But then when it ends, I think the whole last part of that movie is to kind of earn that ending.
Sure.
And I think it totally does.
Nice.
Like it's and I freaking hope they do a sequel, man.
Life's.
It's got like aspects of 2001 Space Odyssey.
Life's.
That's pretty good.
It instead of being an alien egg, it'll just be a chicken egg that's cracked open.
And I was gonna say aspects of Alien.
Yeah.
Like it totally has that freaking feel, and I think the execution on, like I said, not necessarily a new concept, freaking good.
The what I had gotten out of it was definitely Alien. There was an Alien vibe to it, and it was kind of like if Alien weren't. It's really weird. It's hard to say, but it's like if Alien weren't filmed like such a dour nightmare.
Oh yeah, that's the big difference.
That's the big difference. Like this is Alien in the light, where they're like, I mean, you know,
that
the
Alien universe is 70s. It's dirty. It's greasy. You know, there's a blue collar. Like totally. This is clean. Like this is it, and it's not future. It's near future. There's still some tech that's a little, I'm sure isn't out there, but
I mean, they don't. A whole bunch of it was like piloted by Tesla motors and stuff.
Was it really? Was there some Tesla logos on there?
I don't know. It just seems like
there were.
It seems like Elon should be involved in everything.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. Life is good. Definitely finish it for sure.
I don't know, man. I think Life is. I don't know that I'd say good. It's livable right now, potentially.
Okay. Qualified. The movie Life is pretty good.
The cereal, only when it's got cinnamon.
We can do another podcast on that too.
Yep.
Video games are also good.
Cinnamon toast.
Cinnamon Life, starring Ronnie Reynolds.
Ronnie Reynolds and ravenous Rick Rude.
When
Ravishing
the death happened that I'm thinking maybe you stopped watching at was when I said, "Oh, Matt's got to watch this."
Oh, I'm 100%. It had to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It was.
Anyway, sorry. Video games.
Video
You've played
games.
them. I've played them. We've all played them.
Yeah, we played a couple of them. That new Lucio Ball thing, it's all right. I played some of that. Did the...
Is it the same as... No, wait. There were some tweaks from last year's summer. No? Okay.
I honestly don't remember. Like, I played it. It didn't seem any different to me. I mean, it was fine. It was just what it was last year. I don't know. I know they made changes. I don't know what they were. I didn't look at them because
not readily apparent.
Well, It was also a mode that I didn't love last year. I played it again. I didn't really love it this time. I played a couple rounds. I'm with you. I played 3 rounds just to get my crate.
Oh, did you get any of the new skins I saw they were showing around too?
I did, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Like, I'm
all right.
just I don't know, man. The game's just not doing much for me. I flipped through it. I played some quick play.
Is this on the PC?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's fine. It's Overwatch. I don't know. There's
I'm falling off of that a little bit. At some point, I'm going to get back. Like, I've never actually sat down and tried to dig into the achievements. I've just kind of gone for them while I was playing. At some point, I'm going to do that, even though I don't have a ton left. Discarding the ones I'm going to write off because nobody should do those. But
sure.
At some point,
there was some news came out that deathmatch is now in Overwatch. I saw that the option. I didn't actually play it because I saw it talked about. I have no interest in playing it.
It's in PTR now, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's come out to.
Yeah. I saw people talking about it, and it's fine. Whatever, deathmatch. People like deathmatch. I don't think. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. This is not going to be the competitive mode that anybody cares about. Nobody cares.
No.
Nobody's going to care. This is not what Overwatch is for. It's catered to a team-based game.
And team deathmatch maybe makes the most sense out of it. Like there's going to be a free-for-all mode too, which doesn't make much sense unless you consider maybe capture the flag, which also didn't make much sense. And that's their quote out. Kaplan's quote out there is kind of like, we have arcade mode now. We can kind of do some of these things.
Yeah,
that we
you want it?
didn't.
Here you go.
Yeah, go for it.
Enjoy just getting.
Was basically what he said.
Enjoy getting super pissed off about how everybody's ult is OP and how you're super tired of being the one that gets killed by McCree out of nowhere.
Yeah, because I can't imagine they're going to rebalance for
I would hope
free
not.
for all or anything.
You want to put something like that in there, you ruin everybody's day. I think it's just all going to be Widowmakers. Dug into some more Fortnite this week.
Cool.
Streamed it. That was fun.
Tuned in.
I like that game. That game is cool. It's pretty.
So I had a question for you.
Okay.
It is round based. How many rounds to an actual game? Like, I had a hard time nailing down when the game was actually beginning and ending.
So it's not round based; it's mission based.
Or
like you
wave-based?
have your
No.
Well, yeah, okay. So it is wave based. Yeah, there's definitely that. So the way it works out is you are dropped into the map. You have whatever your objectives are. They're always drop the thing and build up a base around it and then defend it. That's always the goal. Like the ultimate point here is your storm shield is the thing that makes everything like inside of it clear of the storm that's causing everybody to lose their heads and become zombie monsters. So you're trying to expand it, and you have to keep dropping these atlases to expand it. So you dig around the map first. So you go and you start collecting things, destroying housing, destroying forest, deforestation. Big fan. Join a quarry, be a quarryman. You could hang out with Paul and John.
Quarrycraft.
Yeah, and then eventually you'll find the spot where you're supposed to drop the atlas. So you put the atlas down. Then you have to collect this stuff called blue glow, which starts the atlas.
The spot where you drop the atlas is defined.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
At least in the ones that I've played. I don't know that there are, like, you have to find it. And then the waves start, and once you drop the atlas, you put in the blue glow. That's what starts the waves. So what you want to end up doing is drop the atlas, then you build up your fort around it, and then start the atlas, and then wait for the waves, and you attack as need be. So
and I had this question last week. Can you start the wave whenever you want, or will it auto start if you wait too long?
Oh yeah, see, we didn't wait that long. I actually think it does force you at some point, but there are objectives, and the objectives are oftentimes finish this, like defend the atlas within 2 days. So you have a day-night cycle. I'm not sure if after that day-night cycle finishes after 2 days, if it'll just kick off, or if you just sit there and keep building.
Huh.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't necessarily.
You're playing with randoms online, so
most of the time, yeah.
How long is the day-night cycle? Like what?
I don't know.
How long would
10 minutes?
2 days real time take?
20,
really?
25, 30. I don't know.
Okay, cool. I'm done with all my questions.
Yeah, little details that I don't have answers on because I just I never let that run through, so I don't know. It's by the time I've always we're going, I'm not paying attention day night. I'm just seeing zombies come at me. There are some definite things that need to be changed in that game. There's some work that can be done. I actually like the building. I think the building is fine. Part of my issue is the crafting. The crafting kind of sucks. You have to craft all of your guns, all of your ammo, all of your traps, all of your stuff. And it takes certain things, and the way the menus are laid out, they're not super clear. It's
That's
also
the
not
main gripe I hear about that game.
And it's also not very clear where you get those components, because some of them are just very random. Do you only get them certain times? Am I not supposed to be crafting guns like consistently all the time? Am I supposed to just wait for guns to break? Because they all have, these are things that they just don't tell you. There is and I mentioned this before, the significant change that needs to happen here is a tutorial that is far better than what's in there right now.
Yeah, those the two main complaints I hear are lack of tutorial, which it's early access, like that's what they point out a lot of the time, and just the menus, like, period.
and I think my issue with the cop out of it's early access is, yeah, you're not wrong, but is your early access part of that point to frustrate players and just get them to not want to learn it? I have no problem with games that don't hold your hand. I need time with them. This is a game that more time it's going to come, but there are so many functions in this game and so many little menu items and so many things to upgrade and pay attention to.
You think it would have been a little more important to surface some of that stuff a little bit better.
Yeah. This is a game that I think definitely needed that. And I think that was I think that before they put that game on disc and sold it, that should have been a priority. That should have been what happened.
That is kind of strange, that it had a strip. And I mean, I think that gets fixed or gets better over time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it fixes my reservations, because on its face, that stuff points to me at a depth. I mean, full disclosure, my comments should be qualified with the fact that in the end, this is a tower defense. Like, I've come to realize this is still very tower defense-y, which is one of my least favorite game types. So
usually mine
turns
too.
Me off a little bit, anyways. But the amount of, even if they fix the menus, the amount of depth that this game seems to want is not something that's really ticking anything off for me.
And I think it's faux depth. I don't think the depth is actually as is
even
there.
Worse.
It's not to say it doesn't have depth.
Dude, I've seen you go. I watched your stream. I see you go through those menus. Like, looking you go through those menus, I'm like, I don't want to learn all this.
No. And
that's me, right? Like, right. I get that. Like,
that is totally a problem. I don't think the depth is necessarily as like, I don't think it'll be that hard to crack. It's just they need to tutorialize and really explain stuff, because when you break down the menus, they kind of make sense if you really look at them and you keep playing the game.
Yeah, don't doubt it.
Their idea of tutorial is they give you like the first one when you kind of boot the game up, and then every mission after that and your kind of initial quests are all tutorial. I'm still going through tutorials, but they're not well put together. Like, they're just play the game. You give me like a blurb about what this menu is for, and then I never hear anything about it again, excepting to go into the quest menu and see the exact steps I need to take to upgrade the person to complete that quest.
Yeah, it needs work. Yeah,
needs work.
Well,
I still like
they'll
it.
Do it. Yeah.
I hope this game has legs. I hope I see a lot of areas where they can improve. I see a lot of spots where I can easily see the game expanding and them building. But one of the things that I keep reading, and I haven't gotten there yet, is the microtransaction and the fact that your drip, when you start getting up there, is nil. And
really?
This goes back to a lot of people complaining and saying this is a 10-cent thing. And it kind of sounds like something a 10-cent game would do, because 10-cent bought all of Cliffy's stock, so they definitely have a voice.
Owned 10% of Epic or something like that. I'm
not even sure how much it is, but they've got enough to actually say things. So Yeah, we'll see. I hope it continues.
I don't know. I mean, Tim Sweeney, and you know the people at Epic more than I do. Like, they seem like pretty straight shooters. I have a hard time believing that Tencent's calling a lot of the shots over there.
I don't think they're calling a lot of the shots. I just happen to think that some of this microtransaction stuff definitely seems like a thing that they would push, and that Epic would say, well, it's going to make money, so we'll do it, I guess.
Well, Epic's also been on, like, they've kind of redone the whole way they do things, like, towards this free-to-play type, like ongoing update type game style or game development.
And that dovetails perfectly because I've been playing Paragon for the past few weeks for some reason, still not sure why or what's going on. So a couple weeks back, I kept watching KL and the game just looked good. It looked fun. So I finally picked it back up. And I picked it back up like 3 weeks before they did a massive retool, and they just...
Yeah, and we talked about all this last week.
Yeah, so the past week I've been trying to get used to that new thing and the card system and the gems, and it makes way more sense to me than what existed before, which was collecting a ton of cards and doing stuff. The way the decks are laid out makes more sense. I've been having just a lot of fun with it. It's really enjoyable MOBA for me right now. I haven't played a ton of PvP, a couple of games. I think I've played 2 in total. Both of them didn't have any bad experiences with my team. Nobody complained about anything. Everybody was playing.
Cool.
We did happen to win. In both games, it didn't feel like we were going to. It certainly felt like we were getting rolled early on. And then it felt like after we hit mid and late game, we really came on and the other team just fell off.
Nice.
It was cool. Yeah. I've been sticking with a character called the Fae, and yes, she is a fairy, and she's great. I like her a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what are you doing when you're not PvP?
You can do PvE, so you can do a team of 5 actual players against the computer. So
okay.
I do that a lot, mostly to play, just to kind of. I'm still not comfortable with my knowledge of the map and my comfort with the characters necessarily. So I play. I'm going through to build up the mastery on the one character because I want the skins and all the nonsense, but also to get used to it and understand the map itself. I'm very hesitant to go into PvP. It's an issue for me because again,
preaching to the choir, man. Yeah, no, I'm PvE.
And then last game, I played some Rainbow Six Siege, man, and that game they dropped another update for it, new maps. The game just gets better and better. They've done a fantastic job with that, and played with Sean Sliptide. We did a whole bunch of T-Hunt and the various modes there.
Tarot Hunt.
I think tonight we may actually try some multiplayer, which can't be good. It's cool, man.
What's most different since last time you played?
Oh, nothing. I just really enjoyed it. It just sat because
no, I mean like with the updates and stuff. You said they
they balanced some characters. I don't know, not necessarily that made a difference to me. It's more PvP stuff.
So no huge changes that you're going in there and being like, oh, this plays different in a way or anything like that.
No, other than the fact that they've added characters and new maps.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then you and I both played Blizzard Mountain.
We did.
It was good.
Nothing. Yeah, it's fun as always. I'm digging into it now, going through like I did for the Hot Wheels expansion.
Yeah, we saw you playing last night. We were like, "Ha, you should play Rainbow Six."
Yeah, and I was in your party, and you were playing Rainbow Six, and I was playing Blizzard Mountain.
Yeah.
Look at that, cool story.
Yeah.
I did finish the Disney Afternoon Collection though.
Woo!
DuckTales 2, and this is actually this is where because I was playing these all in chronological order because they basically pump these things out like every year it seemed like. This is where that all kind of paid off actually. Like DuckTales 2, I see now why is the one that people point to most often.
Really?
Like, it's got totally. I'm sure. Aren't I? Am I crazy?
I don't know.
DuckTales 2 is the one that people are like, that's the good one. That
never played it.
About.
That was that DuckTales 2 happened after I had moved on to, I don't know, something else.
Well, it totally is. Like it has the gameplay of DuckTales 1, so which was probably the fun out of all of these anyways. Like that pogo we talked a little bit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it now has like the upgrade system from Tailspin, which when we talked about it, I told you how the money didn't carry over.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a thing you can buy to have your money carry over. So there's a total meta to upgrading, and there's upgrades you can find in the world as well. So I don't know if you call that RPG or what, but it's it's like they've taken everything they learned from all these games coming up till now and put it together in a really cool way for DuckTales 2.
Nice.
Like it was totally cool seeing how it all came together. And not surprisingly, a little bit of the same thing for Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers 2.
Nice. Also,
Because yes, I am sick of this sequel-driven industry, and it's blatant. No, this is actually pretty good. Like the same thing happened, and they did.
you had the Bill Clinton thumb going on there for a minute.
Did I? I won't even tell you what that means, but I did.
Icky sticky.
Weird things happen with Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers too. Like weird decisions that I don't know if I'm reading too much into, but they got rid of the overworld. Like even DuckTales 2 had an overworld where you're between every level you can do stuff out of order. It's Mega Man, basically.
Yeah.
Right? They do away with that. So for Chip 'n Dale's 2, they're moving you through a narrative, almost like a normal video game nowadays, like with cutscenes. Like it becomes very linear, whereas before, I mean, the story was there, but it was kind of like by level, and there was maybe an overarching thing, like you were going for the boss, or whatever.
Right.
The art looks really good. Like stuff seems actually designed in this. Like there's like angles and cool graphics. Like I said, I don't know. Like either
the Disney Afternoon Collection, 90% not really designed, 10% pretty good.
Again, take DuckTales 2. Like the overall map looks cool. But it doesn't look like it's like it looks like it's kind of hodgepodge together to make a
hodgepodge.
It's like the screens, the result screens in Chip 'n Dale's, like they got, like I said, angles and like shapes and designs to them. I don't know. I'm probably reading into this, but it seems like somebody was actually trying some different things with Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers 2. Seems crazy. There's a faux physics puzzle in the first level. Like you have to turn on a faucet. There's no physics engine in this game, so it's you have to turn on a faucet and it fills up a thing. And if you're on the I think it's like a lamp or something, you'll float to the top and then be able to get through the. It's the only time it happens in the entire game. There's like proto QuickTime events.
What?
It's weird. Like I'm telling you, it's weird, and all this stuff happens like once, so it creates this really varied picture or game. It's not like they're which is the thing games do nowadays, like they'll come up with a gimmick or a mechanic. I don't want to get too reductive, and that's the game is built around that. Like these are these are just one-off things.
Just hit me. I don't want to get too reductive. Still a little reductive though. I want to maintain a level of reduction.
I do want to get a little reductive.
Bring it down a notch. Disney Afternoon Collect.
Okay, so the boss battles are really bad. There you go.
Rewind.
Yeah, record scratch.
No, I meant use the rewind button.
Oh yes, no. They're not hard. Like this is about as hard as the first Chip 'n Dale's, which is the easiest of the entire collection. So it's easy as far as that goes. But they're all some form of the boss throws something at you and you throw it back to him. They're just really uninventive as far as that goes.
Yeah, I remember a lot of games with that.
They were boring.
How old were you when you realized that Chip 'n Dale were dressed up as Magnum PI and Indiana Jones?
38.
Yeah, you just found out right now, didn't you?
Yep. I had no idea.
It was probably about 10 years ago, 7 years ago. Somebody pointed it out to me, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And if you look at them, they're dressed like
they are. Yeah, no. Then they're not wearing any pants, but hey, neither am I. Every time I see Tom Selleck,
we all want to see the stash.
Yeah, the boss battles are so bad. At some point, like for the final one is so freaking boring. Like because he throws something at you and it's a bomb, so it's got a timer on it. So okay,
so you gotta wait for it.
So you gotta wait for it. There were times where I would pick it up, hold on to it, and then literally start thinking about something else until the bomb exploded, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm playing this game right now. Like it's just boring.
But good job not being too reductive.
Thank you. Disney Afternoon Collection is worth a buy and a play.
It is so far.
2
for
thumbs
me as
up.
well. Yeah, I gotta
1 thumb sideways. 1 Bill Clinton thumb sideways. And then I played a lot more of Dance Central.
How them legs doing?
Better. I got my wife's a big runner, so she has all this stuff to do on muscles because she has them. So I'm like, hey, let me borrow some of that stuff. It's like a leg roller, because like the inside of my knee started to itch.
It's called a thigh master.
I'm called a thigh master, but.
Ryan, the Thigh Master Miller.
Like new tissue was being produced. I don't know. Like the inside of my muscle was itching. So then she brings out this thing that's like just a roller and you like roll it over your muscles. And I'm like, oh, That's nice. So I did that. But
please stop doing that. Please stop doing that while I'm watching it. And please, but if you're going to, maintain eye contact.
If I keep my Bill Clinton thumb in camera.
One Bill Clinton thumb up, the other one rolling things below
Down.
the waist.
I've gotten through. I 5-starred everything on easy, and I 5-starred all of the break it down modes. Which, speaking of which, when I first started playing this, and you asked me if I busted a move, whatever the proper past tense of that, and I said no, that song's not in here. That song's in there. It was just later, yeah. But I did not bust a move during that song, just out of principle. Every other song, fine.
Yeah, you want to maintain your move.
So now, which total freaking nightmare. There's one achievement for doing every move in a song perfectly. So I choose the easiest song, which is Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
Poker face, poker
There's
face.
I get perfect, flawless. Like it's the way Dance Central works is if you're standing in a certain position at certain times, the ring grows bigger and bigger until if you've been in enough good positions during the right amount of times, you get a flawless. Or if you don't do that perfectly, you get a nice. So I have to get all flawlesses for this song. I get all flawlesses until, and the way Dance Central works is there are dance moves, and it basically has you repeat the same dance move 3 times in a row most of the time, sometimes more.
Sure.
So there was this one move in the middle of that song where it does it 3 times in a row, and in the middle of the second time, it goes green, like I'm doing something wrong, even though that's technically impossible. Like I can't be changing my movements that much during what's happening. So basically I figured out that it's out of sync. Like there's a glitch in it. So what I had to do was play until the 3 times in a row, play till that 1.5 times, and then literally speed up and do it twice as fast for like half of a move or longer, and then go back to the normal speed for the last thing, and then I would get the flawless on it. It was so freaking frustrating. And then I would get it, and something else would fail on the back half.
Okay,
and then I would have to redo the whole thing.
So I am going to give you you have a requirement at this point now. There is no more of this nonsense. If you've got more achievements like that,
I'm through all the hard achievements. All I have left is just I have to go through all the break it downs, and I have to pass a certain amount of moves. And if I just pass them, which means I just have to do them right once, which means I'm at a point where I'm having a lot of fun with it, or more fun with it. But I've been having fun with it. I'm actually at a point where I'm gonna look up Dance Central 2 and 3 and whatever the one for Xbox One is. It's like I do it right before bed. I'm sweating. I can't go to sleep. And that sounds bad. I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. We have one of the Dance Centrals.
I lost 15 pounds.
Nice.
I'm not even joking.
I believe you.
Not eating helped, but.
Yeah, no, you have that too. Yeah, I also dropped a whole bunch of weight. You haven't seen me in a while, actually.
No, I can tell.
Yeah.
It's hair and beard very short now.
Also that. But I went from...
Have you really?
Yeah, I went from 220 down to 194.
Nice.
Yeah.
We are come to 0 hit points. We're wasting away. Like it's there. We've gone from nothing to less nothing. Yeah, we're wasting your time away.
Yeah, WAST.
Speaking of wasting time, a lot of stuff happened that wasn't related to us during the week, but was related somewhat to video games. Tell me if you like any of these. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So there was a new Dishonored Death of the Outsider trailer.
I see Michael Madsen. I see Rosario Dawson. I want to watch whatever that is.
Oh, looks cool.
It does look cool.
I can't say much more because it says that if I read much more about it, it will contain spoilers for Dishonored 2. So.
Oh yeah.
It features a new playable assassin, Billy Lurk.
Yeah, she popped up in
like
the first game, and that's Rosario Dawson's character, or the first expansion pack, I think, for the first game.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Dishonored's cool.
It is.
No Man's Sky is also cool.
It is getting cooler. I liked it from the beginning, but definitely becoming more like what people expected it to be.
All right. Hey.
Any question?
The rest of the news is in question form.
Yes. It is.
Have you played any of this new the Atlas Rises update?
I have not played any of this yet.
Better graphics, more missions, rewards with those missions. It seems like all the systems have been deepened. somewhat.
Yeah.
Farming, navigating, construction, even combat, which you can do suborbitally now, like on planet side kind of type thing.
Yeah, they actually brought out a whole actual story. There's like a synopsis to it.
30 hours of story.
Yeah, they're opening up. For a long time, there were these giant monoliths that you'd find on planets. Didn't really do anything. They were just there.
I didn't know they were already there.
Yeah, the monoliths had been there for a while. And then now there's some activations going on. So there are portals that'll take you to different planets and planets you've been to, random planets.
That's kind of a cool way to do that, actually. Have them show up mysteriously in the game, and then not talk about your game to anybody ever at any time.
Yes.
And then release an update.
No, that's exactly I think what they're doing. Yeah, and that all of that stuff kind of comes with the story for Atlas Rises. So lots of cool stuff, man.
And basic or preliminary are the two descriptors I've heard. Multiplayer.
Yeah, if you're on a planet and somebody else is there, you can like up to 15 people you can't really do anything other than kind of explore together, but they show up as like these orbs that are floating around you and
yeah. No player models yet. You're just kind of, which I think was Fable 2 like that. I think
Yeah. You were the orb, right? You could follow
Fable
people
2,
around,
yeah.
and you were the orb. I remember that. Yeah, I think we only did that I think you and I maybe did that one time.
We might have, yeah, actually, yeah. We might have traded some dolls, if I remember.
We did. I forgot about the dolls. Oh man, we traded balls and dolls.
Balls and dolls, my friend.
They're welcome.
0HITPOINTS.com.
0 hit points. We're all about them today. Annabelle creation, football.
I think No Man's Sky might be the game I pick up for my PS4 after the Nathan Drake's, the Uncharted games that I have.
Nice. Yeah, it's fun. I think it's it's a totally unique experience that I think is a wonderful little thing to get engaged with.
They still say there's more on the way.
Yeah, they're clearly they're still building this game. They're still working on it. So I hope that that all the people that were annoyed and frustrated give it a chance at some point in the future.
That's the thing. Yeah, are they getting people back at all at this point, or
I
almost want to wait longer until it's more updated, because I feel like I'm definitely going to have a better experience as is, just waiting this long to play it in the first place.
Probably. I know that after each of the updates that were dropped, they did see a bump in Steam charts. Like the Steam charts bumped up the user number. So
it's got the install base. Like plenty of people bought that thing. It sold.
Yeah, plenty of people refunded it too.
Also, it's cool. I'm, like I said, probably gonna get it. So
cool.
Who says Valve doesn't make games anymore? They are making a collectible card game for Dota. Okay, so that might be true.
Yeah. The best part about this was when they announced this in front of I don't remember what thing they were at where they announced it.
The Dota 2 championships.
Is that where it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had this big thing, and the whole announcement, and when they mentioned that it's the Dota 2 card game, the entire crowd went, oh!
Really?
Yeah, everybody's like, number one, at this point, do you really think you're going to compete with Gwent or Hearthstone? Because
it seems strange that there's so many coming out of the woodwork now. I mean, Hearthstone's been a runaway for a long time. You think this would have happened like a year or two ago.
Dude, well, and again, between that and Gwent, and Gwent being, to me, way, way more accessible.
I mean, Valve, they're up there. Like, I'm very interested to see what they do, but they're so different now that it's kind of like...
This is not something I'm even going to look at. I don't care about this. I don't care about Dota. I'm done with card games.
This seems pretty targeted at that.
Yeah, it's it'd be the same thing if Riot was like, hey, we're coming out with a game called Fartifact, and it's the League of Legends card game. Who cares? I don't care.
They say it's going to have... they haven't said a whole bunch about it, but they have mentioned building barracks, creeps, and lanes, which are all MOBA terms.
Yeah, great. It's going to end up being like Lords of Waterdeep.
I don't get that reference.
Which is an awesome game. Oh, man. Okay. As far as board games go, check that one out, because you and the family might really dig it. It's a great game.
I can't tell if you're being serious at all.
Totally, I'm legit serious.
Okay,
You can
okay,
get
okay.
it on your iPad. Actually, if you get it on your iPad, take a look at it on iPad. Let me know. I'll actually pick it up on iPad if we can.
What does it say again?
Lords of Waterdeep.
Lords of Waterdeep. That wasn't the one you had me download once.
No.
Oh, okay.
That was Hero Quest, which I still think is a
That
great game.
was.
I don't know why we couldn't connect on that though. We had problems with it.
Yeah, I think I played through the tutorial.
I don't remember.
Hero Quest next week on the show.
Yeah, we'll get to
for
it.
sure. I got an email from Gearbox. Seriously, myself.
Me
Did you get this
too.
thing? They're doing a technical test for a new 1v1 shooter meets card game, something rather.
It actually, yeah. So it's a Project 1v1 is all they're calling it right now. Yeah, it kind of sounds like kind of what Paragon is.
Speaking of collectible card games, I guess.
Paragon.
Well, really? Wait.
Yeah, so Paragon is a third-person game, so it's not FPS, which this I guess is. So it's missing that.
Well, even then, I mean, it says quote. The quote is combines the action of fast-paced 1v1 first-person combat with the metagame strategy of a collectible card game. Does that mean it contains the fast-paced? It reminds me of like those iOS games they're like this is a racing game, and then you get it and it's literally like a bunch of words about like I don't even know what you call those things. Have you seen that? They're just strategy. Like there's not actually racing in the game. Like it combines all the action of a race car game, but you're just managing.
What do you want to bet this is like Artifact? It's the Borderlands 2 collectible card game.
Dude, after they released Battleborn and Overwatch for right or wrong basically ate their lunch, nobody could tell the difference or people couldn't. Whatever to some extent. If that happened again with this thing and Artifact, man, like Borderlands 3 comes out freaking quick after that.
Yeah,
man,
I Gearbox just living the dream.
Also living the dream. What's this guy's name? Seriously, do they even say this guy's name in the SB Allernaken? Jacob Palin. There you go. There was a big For Honor tournament.
A $10,000 prize.
Yeah. Which For Honor probably needed some good publicity. I feel like they talked about getting dedicated servers. They have a player base. They're doing something. They've announced season 2, so it's out there. But probably the last thing they needed was this guy taking home first place by spamming an exploit that has yet to be patched for a month or longer.
And the kicker here is that Ubisoft knew about it. They even referenced it when the guy won. They said, because he said it was too easy or something, and he kept doing the whole like wiping his hands after he won a match, and he came in saying, I haven't even played the game in 2 weeks, so
Dude,
whatever.
His quote, I didn't think it'd be this easy before the tournament. I hadn't played the game for 2 weeks. And then like the Ubisoft guys are like, good job, buddy. You may have to change your play style soon.
So here's
your $10,000.
Here's what's interesting about that. Ubi knew about it, didn't say you couldn't do it, and this guy just did it. What gets me is why didn't anybody else do it?
Morals.
Why didn't anybody else do it right back to him? Yeah, very likely.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's the thing that this guy like how cheap, seriously.
Yeah, no,
but you put $10,000 on a table and you tell me to play For Honor in a bad way and I can have it, I might still do it.
if Ubi isn't going to outright say you can't, don't do it, it's illegal, then it's legal.
True.
Like
they could have said that. I mean, and I would own it. Like bring it on. Like anybody railing on this dude, yeah, he deserves it. I hope this guy's like, yeah, I deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I
you
hope
know
he's
what?
Fine with it.
I'm good with it because I won $10,000.
Yeah,
should I have been able to do it this way? No. Is that my
dude.
fault? Maybe, but whatever. For Honor, without honor, who cares?
For Honor, without honor. I wrote it down and it still didn't sound that good. I liked it the way you did it.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Cool. Hey,
we just ended the podcast right then.
God, we
cut
should.
to music.
So much.
But we can't because there's a championship that looks like it's even better.
You should go to it.
Well, they should let people go to it.
Yeah, you should join it. You should do it.
Oh, you want me to know? Yeah. So Nintendo's doing the World Championships again, which their trailer's kind of funny because it's like 1990, 2015. 2017. I'm like, there's no like, okay.
You don't have a lot of not a lot of synergy there.
No.
You're
These
kind of
are the years we've done it.
You're all over the board on this. We're not thinking as much of a championship.
They're doing it again. You can go to Best Buys and some other retailer to play on August 19th, and I guess maybe get a shot at playing some Super Mario Odyssey as well. Which smart if they're pulling some wizard stuff right here, which I guess they did.
They did it
Did
last
they do that
year
with
too.
Mario Maker last time? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Smart move. You did it again, and I fell for it.
You're gonna go.
Yeah. And then October 7th, it's in New York, so I'm definitely not gonna go.
Oh yeah, I thought it was in L.A.
No.
Never mind.
That's right. It was in L.A. last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But there was no way to get tickets reliably, or they were free, and you just had to do something. Oh, it was stupid the way they're doing. They're not opening it up to the public. Technically, is what's happening. It was very not handy the way they had it set up.
You know what is handy is moving on from this and moving directly into the lightning round.
Cool. 30 seconds. Dang it.
Yes. Oh, you admitted it. It's happening. 30 seconds on the clock. Iceland from Delegate. Ryan, this is your week. We're going. This is the part of the show where we got news items that don't really need a lot of time, so we're just going to go through them. I'm going to say something. He's going to say something back. 30 seconds are on the clock. The delegate from Iceland's ready to judge you harshly. Ryan Miller, here's the lightning round. Blizzard has rebranded their online service to something called Battle.net?
Huh. Give it a try.
Some Pokemon Go players are unhappy with some aspects of the raids.
So I went to an ice cream store this week next to a GameStop, and I noticed a lot of people outside the GameStop, not waiting in line, so it was kind of strange. Had my ice cream, went next door to the GameStop, asked the fellow at the counter. I said, "Hey, what's up with all the people outside?" He said, "Oh, there's a Pokemon Go raid going on for a legendary. I don't know if it was one of these exclusive ones.
Definitely was Mewtwo."
And then he perks up, and Sonic Mania comes out tomorrow. So I kind of did the Homer Simpson like back out the door thing at that point. Because they were very, like, after the fact, I very clearly saw they were there for the Pokemon thing. Like, as we were walking by, which I actually think is cool. I think it's cool people are still enjoying that game like I did for the reason I did.
I actually see people around my neighborhood doing it.
It's cool. That's fine. When he perked up with the Sonic Mania news, which has actually been reviewing well for all intents and purposes, it seemed a little strange.
What a lightning round. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Let's just do this. Game's coming out Tuesday the 22nd. The 22nd. That's next Tuesday. Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. They didn't find this legacy. It's lost.
The Lost Legacy.
So what are we going to stream then?
I don't know how that's going to work. I don't remember where we...
Don't worry about it. You've got an in. We
played Forza Horizon. What's left? You seem to like Overwatch.
Yeah, you want to play Overwatch? We can do Overwatch. We can do that.
Sure, that or Rocket League or...
maybe we could do maybe there's some GTA stuff we could do. There's Rocket Motorcycles.
The other one. Yeah, they've did an update we haven't played yet, probably.
Yeah, we'll check it out. We'll see. We'll stream something. There will be a Fortnite Friday stream. Going to continue that mode. It'll probably again be closer to 8 o'clock Mountain, so 9 Pacific or 7 Pacific. Yeah, 7 Pacific.
What about a PUBG?
And that will also almost certainly happen. I did play that actually this week. I totally spaced on that. I played that this week too.
It's on the internet. You can watch it.
I will definitely be playing that this week, and very likely we'll be streaming that again with the boys from the
fellows. Okay, excellent. Yeah. That can't be your week?
No.
You must have a couple other things.
There will definitely be more Paragon coming at me. Badly gotta play it. I want to go play it right now. You should play it. Download it on your PS4 so we can play it together. Yeah, I keep pushing it off. Darkwing Duck is my Advanced Warfare or Infinite Warfare. It's a Call of Duty game for me at this point.
The game I'm going to play this week. Yeah, I'm going to play some Infinite Warfare.
Oh, cool.
This week. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah. What else?
Oh. Dude, I mean, I play so much Infinite Warfare. Like, I'm done with the Disney Afternoon Collection. A little bit more Dance Central. I'll finish off that Blizzard Mountain. You know, a bunch of stuff that won't be worth talking about next week. I'll start a new game this week. Actually, I know what game I'll start this week.
Paragon?
You've been playing a lot of Prey, and it's kind of been getting to me.
Prey.
I won't play Prey. But
oh man, if you were, I would say I can try and mainline some of that.
you probably still should, but that's fine.
I should. I need to. That's just so much.
It is so much. That's why you come to 0HITPOINTS.com on the internet for so much.com.
Very good.